Hey everyone, we are a creative team named Steph and Dan. If you don't know who we are, I'm Steph, the one with the Petra Kucha about the comics.
And hello everyone, my name is Dan. I was the one that did my Pecha Kucha on my Instagram full of Farmers Union iced coffees. So sort of getting stuck into how Steph and I became friends. It was really at the advertising pizza night we had about a year ago. We had both sort of met before that, but our friendship really kicked off with this intense conversation about plant fertilizer. I had all these indoor plants that I had just bought, and they had all started dying, and I didn't know what to do. And Steph had told me about this fertilizer. So I sort of went on to interrogate her about which one to get and how to use it and what it would do. Looking back, I guess you could sort of say this conversation about fertilizer was the fertilizer of our friendship.
Right. We knew we would form the perfect team when we realised that we had the same sense of humour and we could joke about anything. And another important thing is the fact that we can be brutally honest with each other. As sometimes you just need someone to knock some common sense into you when you come up with ideas. And Daniel has always helped me with that part. We would just bounce off each other's energies and go on crazy tangents of ideas. We have a technique to come up with ideas actually called the 5 second spit. So, out of nowhere, we would get each other to spit a headline in 5 seconds. A few good ideas came out of that, and a few bad ones, like how we were gonna use cocaine slang in a Mount Buller ad, and inappropriate Durex ideas that aren't even sexually inappropriate, just straight up bad. Plus, he brings the voice every time we ideate, so that's always good. So, I am terrible at copywriting, but great with ideas and art direction. Daniel, on the other hand, terrible at art direction, amazing with ideas and copy. So, us being a team really works out. Let me show you what I mean. This is Dan's art direction. It's pretty bad. The one on the right, he didn't do it. Ben did it.
And now, looking at some of Steph's copywriting work she's done over the years, we see that she's made quite a few songs rather than just sort of headlines. I mean, songs are fine, but I guess there's a time and a place. Um, and then looking at this line for Ray-Bans, which reads, Ray-Ban sunglasses without the sun.
Right, enough of the bad stuff and moving on to our first major breakthrough. The grill campaign. The junk behind the food. We did this with Jack and Cam back in 2019 as a team, and the grilled brief was basically promoting grilled sustainable practices. The insight we got was the fact that everyone already knew that grilled was sustainable, but they didn't know how unsustainable other fast food franchises were. So rather than telling people what they already knew by going over sustainable practices of grilled, we focused on dissing fast food. The idea? An attack campaign on the Colonel, Clown, and King, exposing their unethical practices in front of everyone. To execute this campaign, we would feature art instruments around the CBD, featuring birds in cages, chopped trees forming burgers, and a factory shaped in the iconic fries packaging. Next, we will feature these prints explaining the message behind the instruments. For the first print, we have Destroyed, featuring the King's Burger with a silhouette of deforestation, as meat farming requires a lot of land, resulting in deforestation. Next, we have Locked Up, featuring the infamous chicken nuggets with a silhouette of caged birds, showing the abuse the animals go through. Finally, we have Processed, featuring the iconic fries packaging with a silhouette of a factory pumping chemicals into our environment.
Now, so this Durex piece, we did this for our D&AD competition. Um, we did this also with Leanne and Cameron. So I guess for the brief, Durex was aiming to empower people with a disability and also grant them access to a healthy sex life, which evidently they just weren't having. So we looked at this campaign in a lot of different ways until we came up with this pretty unique insight. We found out that disabled people found it really intimidating revealing their disability when they were online dating. There was this big conversation around what was the best way to do it. Some people would sort of have it in their Tinder bio, or they might have this copy and paste message, or they might wait till the first date. But yeah, there was this real sort of debate around that. And there was also this issue that people with a disability simply felt like people just didn't know how to treat them in dating situations. So our idea was to sort of streamline this process with this dedicated page disabled people could create and then attach to their Tinder profile. Now this page would sort of outline their disability as well as their sort of personal dating do's and don'ts. We felt like this would make online dating less intimidating for people and also make it easier for this sort of reveal of the disability. Now, approaching the campaign, we sort of came up with a lot of roadblocks with regards to terminology. There was a lot of different opinions about what was appropriate to say, and this gave rise to the line "disable the label." And we felt like this really represented the idea of breaking down these barriers and looking past someone's disability. So here you can see with our ad, you've got the Tinder swipe left and right, and the headline reads, "Don't let disability be a deal breaker." And again, the goal is to sort of communicate this idea of looking past someone's disability in a dating situation.